Take On New York Sports podcast with me, your host, Anthony Heaton, doing a live episode today on Podbean. It is Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. We have a lot to get to on this episode, a lot I want to discuss and get out there. First things first is I want to say I lost someone very close to me recently, a few days ago. Her name is Beatrice. And, she was a very close, very, very close family friend, more of an aunt to me than anything. She lost her battle with cancer. She's in a better place now. Just do want to say, rest in peace. I love you. I know she's probably watching me now, cursing up a storm at me. What are you even bothering talking about this for? Get onto your sports. But, that's just how she is. Very, very outspoken and to the point and, no BS. She was a great woman, though. And, the one positive, if there is one that can come out of this, is she's now reunited with her son, Joey, up in heaven. He tragically lost his life, a few years ago now. Time goes so fast. It may even be coming up on like 10 years now. It's been, so, heaven has, they just got another angel and a real good one. So, rest in peace, Beatrice. Okay. Now we transition and we turn our attention to, we're going to start with the NHL and the Rangers. I know it was a huge win last night for the Yankees, who are now over 500 since they were 3-2 to start the season. But I want to start with the other night and the Rangers and Capitals. All right, I want to pull up a few things here because I want to make sure I get this all right. It's obvious that we're going with the whole Tom Wilson incident here. To put it nicely, the guy's just a piece of garbage. I mean, straight up. I don't, personally, who knows, obviously, but as a hockey player, he thinks, he thinks he's beyond any sort of rules or, unwritten or written for that matter. He's been suspended, I don't know, a slew of times. Let me see here, 36 games total. He had that 20-game suspension back in 2018. The illegal check to the head of Oscar Sundqvist. Suspended 7 games for boarding Brandon Carlo. And apparently he didn't I'm trying to read here. I'm sorry. He got fined $5,000, which is the, for the play on Buchnevich / Panarin. But mostly just, on what happened with Buchnevich. And that's the maximum allowed under the collective bargaining agreement, which is a load of crap. The guy makes $5 million a year. Okay. He got, what did he get? A 10-minute misconduct and something else. I forgot what he had, but $5 million salary the guy makes, and $5,000. I was reading something on Twitter and somebody had a good point. They should change that, in the next collective bargaining agreement. It should be a percentage of a person's salary, because again, if you have a guy making the league minimum, a couple $100,000, and he gets fined $5,000, he's going to feel it a lot more than, someone like Tom Wilson. But the fact of the matter is, the guy's a complete ass. And we spoke about this a few times already, different incidents, and he's just, what's going to stop him from doing this? A $5,000 fine, again, which is the maximum they can fine him. That's not going to do it. He didn't get a suspension for this. He's punching Buchnevich as Buchnevich is face down on the ice, just, laying there. And then I read something that I forgot who it was that said it, but that Panarin shouldn't have jumped on his back. What do you expect is going to happen? This, that, the other thing. He's there pounding one of your teammates. And what are you going to do? Panarin's obviously a much smaller guy. Um, you try to pull him off. He's in the scrum. Of course, you're going to do what you can, but he then body slams Panarin. It's just there's so many different pieces to this that are just wrong. And the Rangers made their statement, and let me see if I could just pull it up real quick because it was well said. Obviously, it had to be said, and it was it was a big deal because all right, here we go. Basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, I'm sure you guys have seen it by now, but they're just saying that the NHL head of player safety, George Paros, they basically believe he's unfit to continue in his role. Now, he didn't even want to suspend Wilson on that check to Brandon Carlo. It was Gary Bettman who actually did that. And I agree with the Rangers 100% on this. And the biggest factor here for me is not only that it was, just completely over the line in so many ways. It's the fact that it's Tom Wilson. It's not some rookie who just came up. It's not a guy who's been in the league with a, spotless reputation. This guy's done this once, twice, 3 times, 4. He's done it, a bunch of times now. And not little things either. Like I said, he's got suspended 36 games in his career. It's just, what's it going to take? And, what has to happen for him to get it, if that's even possible? Mika put it well. He said, I figure you should have some more respect for the game and for the players. I don't honestly know where to start. It's just that there's zero respect. I don't know why I'm surprised. Just horrible. And it's true. I don't know. He was given a double minor and a 10-minute misconduct. And now Panarin, didn't return that game. He's out for the season now. Again, I know it doesn't matter standings-wise because the Rangers were officially eliminated from the playoffs, but it's I don't know. It's unfair. It's BS. Something's got to happen. Something's got to change. And yeah, of course, all Ranger fans and, a lot of NHL fans in general are saying, okay, well, tonight's revenge is that the other thing. Yeah, that's great. But, Wilson can handle himself and this, that, the other thing. And what are we going to do? We're going to stoop down to his level and act like a complete jackass out there, and give us a bad reputation. It's just, you can't, there's almost nothing you can do. And this is on the NHL, flat out. They blew this punishment, and if something bad happens tonight, God forbid it, we don't want that to happen, of course. But if something bad happens tonight, it's on the NHL. They should have came down much harder. Hard at all, because again, $5,000 is nothing. It's something I saw something. It's like for a guy who's making $30,000 a year, it's like $27 equivalent to what Tom Wilson's making. Like, come on. If you're a clown like he is, and you like smashing people's face into the ground, punching them when they're down, this, that, the other thing, would you do it again if you knew that, hey, I'm just going to get a $27 fine? I can't get fined more than that. How is that going to stop you? And you can say, okay, let's get another enforcer out there to beat his brains in or whatever. Okay, but again, that's not, that's going to fire him up more, and he's going to keep going. He loves to play the game of hockey, apparently. That's obvious. You have to take that away from him. And Steve Valiquette said it, suspend him the whole year. He called him an idiot. And that's what he is. Again, it's not his first time, second, third, fourth, fifth. He's beyond a repeat offender. And I don't know. I hate to keep repeating myself, but something's got to get done. I don't have the answers. I don't know. But it's sad because, God forbid somebody gets really hurt. You know what I mean? What if he's down there and he's punching away at Buchnevich and he hits him in the back of the neck or the head or something like that. And, who knows what could happen, accidents happen all the time in sports, but stuff like that can be prevented, it has to be. Then you get to the point something like that happens. There's got to be criminal charges and this, that, the other thing. It's a whole mess. And again, the number one goal here is player safety. And I know it's entertainment. They get paid millions of dollars to play this game, but they got to be safe out there. And again, I know nobody's crying about it. Oh, protect me from Tom Wilson, but they got to feel like they can go out there and play their game, the game that they love, and not have to worry about this jerk off. Who knows what he's going to do? Slash you across the head with a stick, or you know what I mean? Like, who knows? Because again, equivalent of a $27,000 fine to somebody who makes $30,000 a year. That's going to stop him? I don't think so. So yeah, that was my Tom Wilson rant. The Rangers officially eliminated from the playoffs. They had a good season overall. There were a lot of positives to come out of it. Who knows if this was maybe a full 82 game season, maybe they do sneak into the playoffs, but it's not, so we can't play that game. They right now they're a plus 25 goal differential, which is nice. It was just a couple factors. I mean, for number one, we're a young team, and we saw a lot of improvement out of a lot of key players. Igor had a little rough start, got hurt, whatever. He's going to be fine. So that's nice to know that what we saw out of him last year and coming up through the minors and everything and in Russia, that's him. You know what I mean? He's going to be legit. Adam Fox, what do you say? He's probably going to get robbed of the Norris and they're going to give it to Hedman, but he's been fantastic in every facet of the game. Obviously, number one defensively, but he can run the power play. He sees an opening. He's got, he's not the fastest guy, but he's a very smart skater, and he's got that hockey IQ, which you need, especially as a quarterback on the power play, which he basically is at this point. So you love to see that. Lafreniere's been playing much better. Kakko's developing. You know what you got in Mika at least now, because I mean he was brutal to start the season, and then you couldn't stop in the second half of the season. And so you look at a couple different things. Is Panarin not being there because of the whole Putin thing for what was it, 10, 12 games? Could that maybe have changed our standing? Where we finished in the standings. Mika getting off to that awful start. Igor getting hurt. Although, Kincaid and Georgie, they held the fort down respectively, of course. But it was nice to see growth. And again, that's coming into this year. Yeah, would we have liked the playoffs? Of course. Was it expected? Not really. I had them sneaking in fourth. I was wrong, obviously, but I know the direction we're going is completely positive, 100%. And, we need to stay the course. Don't go out and do something stupid like Jack Eichel, because, you keep hearing Strome and Eichel. Imagine that. Listen, excuse me, not Strome and Eichel, Panarin and Eichel. How much better is Eichel going to be than Strome, realistically? I mean, Strome and Panarin have been like, I don't know, whatever you want to say, peanut butter and jelly, salt and pepper. You know what I mean? Like they're two freaking peas in a pod, and they play fantastic together. And obviously Strome is, costing you half the price of Eichel. And yeah, is Eichel a better overall player? Okay, probably, but you need that continuity, and you need that. Some people just play better with other people. Eichel can come here and his style doesn't match with Panarin, and then what are we going to do? Then we lost Strome and we lose, Panarin's ability, or all his ability. You know what I mean? It just don't go and do that. Stick the course with the young kids. We got great young defensemen. Fox Lindgren. Keandre was great this year. Smitty had a really good year. I know he's not a young defenseman, but him and Trouba as the veterans. They played well. Trouba, obviously very important to this team as the quote unquote veteran leader of the defense. Even though I know Smitty's older than him, but you don't know how long Smitty's going to be here for. Obviously, Trouba is signed; he'll be here. But yeah, it was good to see a lot of development. Kravtsov gets a little bit of a taste of the NHL. So again, next season is going to be a huge season for us. We're on schedule. I think they said October 13th. They want to start the 2021 season. You got the expansion draft coming up in July, so we see who we lose to Seattle. Brett Howden. Yeah, 82 game season next year. Fans back in the stands, maybe even 100% capacity at that time. So we should be, as normal as we can be. And is Quinn the right coach? I still don't know. And I don't think we will know until next year. So unfortunately, we may have to stick out another year of him. And I think we're going to. And I don't think they're going to get rid of him. But he's got to make the playoffs next year. That's plain and simple. Got to make the playoffs. And there's no excuses. There's no anything. He's got to make the playoffs. So, he'll be around next year. Hopefully we don't get off to a slow start like we do, almost every year, it seems like. And, next year could be a big year for us. So that's pretty much a wrap up on the NHL. I want to transition over to baseball now as the Yankees with a 7-3 victory over the Houston Asstrolls. They just, I want to give credit to my fellow Yankee fans, all 10,000 or whoever. I don't even know how many were there. 5,000, 7,000, 10,000. I don't know. I forgot the capacity limit, but it sounded like a full stadium there. That place was rocking. They were relentless. Every time Altuve was up, they let him know that not only is he a cheater, but he robbed Judge out of the MVP that year in 17. And don't get me started with that either, because that's a bunch of crap too. Yeah, he was 60 points higher in batting average, but Judge beat him in every other category. And according to all the quote unquote experts now, batting average doesn't mean anything. So Judge still should have won it. But anyway, the fans were on him every pitch, every at bat, every time he touched the ball. They were on Correa, Bregman. It was great. And we got to Greinke early, then he settled down. But the Yankees now 4 in a row. I know they swept the Tigers, but hey, you play who's on your schedule, and that's what they were supposed to do. So 4 in a row. They're back over 500 now. Let's keep it going. Got Monty going tonight. Got Cole going tomorrow for the series finale, 1:00. Let's keep the train rolling, man. Giancarlo Stanton. If you haven't at one point or another have said that you're just done with him, then you're a liar, as a Yankee fan. I'll admit it. I was done with him a few times. And again, who knows how the season unfolds, and there's going to be ups and downs and ebbs and flows. We know that, but he's just a monster right now. I mean, he's not just crushing home runs. He's getting doubles. He's getting singles. He's driving people in, and he had a couple opposite field hits. He's doing everything. And what do you have? 4 hits last night. I think he had 3 straight 3-hit games. Like he's just, and what is he on a 10-game hitting streak now? So he's playing like the Stanton we traded for. And again, it's not going to last forever. He's going to have slumps again, just like everybody does. That's baseball, Susan, as John Sterling, the great one, would say. But yeah, he's just been tremendous. And DJ said it best. He said he just hits the crap out of the ball, straight up. I think 5 of the 6 hardest hit balls this year are from Giancarlo Stanton. And he's phenomenal right now, and he's got to keep it going. And the Yankee pitching has been doing its thing, the bullpen as well. You have a few little hiccups here with Rougned Odor. coming in to score yesterday, kind of hyperextended his knee a little bit. But again, there's no word on what, his injury status is, because he's been really good. He's been good for us, since we traded for him. Again, it was a very low risk, high reward trade. Luke Voigt is down in the minors now. I think he went 2 for 3 yesterday. So he's on track to join the team maybe this weekend. If not, Booney's saying basically, next week he'll be ready to rock and roll because he's chomping at the bit. And, that'll be, needless to say, it'll be a huge bat back in the middle of our lineup. And, you got LeMahieu leading off doing his thing, Stanton batting second, which is working out great. Judge right behind him. You throw Voigt behind him. Gio, who's doing everything as usual. Glaber's even starting to get into the mix. There's 2 pretty dead spots right now in this Yankee lineup. I don't want to get on Sanchez too much because I wasn't even actually talking about catcher, but let's keep going with this rotation of him and Higgy. See how that works. Because Higgy's been playing well. Sanchez again started out really well, came back down, kind of slumped for a bit. I have faith he'll come out of it, but the balance of him and Higashioka is where we have to be right now. But left field and center field, Aaron Hicks has no throwing arm, as we saw, against I forgot who we tried to throw out at home, but we lost that game in extra innings. Baltimore, maybe, I don't remember, but he just and not even defensively, he's got speed out there and everything. He plays a very good center field, but he's almost an automatic out at this point. And you put that together with Clint Frazier, who I love, by the way, but he's doing absolutely nothing as well. So you got almost, you got those 2 basically almost hitting back to back, I think. And it's just like, rally killer. That's putting it lightly. That's being nice. They got to figure something out. And the answer isn't Gardner. Sorry, Brett. He's not been doing much anyway. And he's, again, he's the 4th outfielder. He is what he is, so nothing's on him really at this point. But, what do? Do you wait a couple weeks? You see how Florial does? He's been doing well in the minors. I know it just started, but, do you give him a shot in center? He's a good, I know everybody settled down. No Jason Dominguez, he's not there yet. He's got to get some time in the minors. He'll be up eventually, probably not this year, but, something's got to give. And I know I don't want to say we're stuck with Hicks for the next, whatever it is, 5 years, but, he has that contract, $10 million a year. I think it's tradable. You just obviously got to find the right partner, but, I don't know. Something's got to give. Because those are 2 dead spots in the lineup. And I know not everybody's going to be hitting all the time. Most lineups have some low spots where you can get around and pitch around, but, that's not us. We're the Bronx Bombers, and let's go. I'm not saying all-star at every position, none of that, but, we got to have consistent hitting up and down the lineup. And, we're basically 80% there. But again, props to all the people at the stadium yesterday. I mean, you guys were fantastic. And, the F. Altuve chants and they brought it up on the broadcast. There was a lot of creative props that I saw. And, this crap with, I seen the one guy with the inflatable garbage can maybe or something like that. And, he gets it confiscated by security. Come on, man. Like, it's not, nobody's complaining about it, as far as the fans in the stands. Everybody's spread out far enough. It's not like you're blocking somebody's view. It is that the other thing. It's just MLB trying to, calm things down, which it shouldn't. We should be pissed, and we are pissed. And again, who knows? You can't say we would have went to the World Series anyway. You can't say we would have beat the Dodgers if we did. It doesn't, you can't foreshadow any of that stuff, but it's just, we were robbed of the opportunity. And that's just, I don't know. It sucks. And Dusty Baker, I love him, but he said it a bunch of times, oh, enough already, having the players suffered enough, this, that, the other thing. No, they absolutely have not. And it's, they spoke to it on the cheating scandal, knowing that they would not get penalized or punished. So basically they said what they had to say. Hinch lost his job, obviously. Jeffrey Lunau lost his job. Beltran, Corey, the whole scenario. But the players, what did they do? They got away with it. They got away with the fan treatment last year because there was no fans in the stands. But come on, man. They have to endure this all year, at least all year. Because there's no asterisk. I can never say that word, but asterisk. There we go. In the record books for their World Series. And again, the Yankees and steroids back in the... Listen, I don't want to hear that garbage either, okay? Because everybody was doing it. That was that. Was everybody cheating with the video like the Astros were? I don't know. Maybe not. But the Astros were caught. So that's what we got to go by, And it's they're going to endure this every year, every place they go, but especially, I don't know if they're playing. I mean, I think they're going to Dodger Stadium this year, but they play the Dodgers, they play the Yankees. Just because who knows how long it was going on? Tampa fans, Boston. It's just brutal that they didn't get punished more, and it is what it is. They're gonna have to take this for the rest of the year, and they're playing well too. So it doesn't seem to be affecting him too much, but, Booney said it with a nice smirk on his face. Yeah, it was a fun night to play the game. Yeah, of course it was, because, we're playing fantastic. We beat their ace last night, who Greinke is, he was obviously a great pitcher throughout his career. He's coming to the end now at 37, but he's just, I know he has the social anxiety or whatever it is, and I'm not, trust me, but I know the deal. I feel his pain sometimes, but I'm not making fun of him, anything like that. Please don't misunderstand me, but the guy's a weird dude, and he, we beat him up a little bit yesterday. He settled down though, but that was nice to see. And I think he's got like a 10 or 11 ERA against us, which is just weird. Everybody a couple years ago when he got traded to Houston, the Yankees should have traded for him. He would have been miserable here. He would not have been able to handle it, and he knew it. That's why he wasn't coming here. But yeah, great win by the Yankees. Let's keep it going. Let's get Voit back. Let's keep our pitching intact. Kluber was fantastic the other night. Herman, he was good last night. He was even better his start before. Let's just keep on going. Looking across town at the Mets. Man, you cross your fingers with DeGrom. He's got some tightness. He was scratching his start. The game was postponed anyway, but because of rain. There's no words for him. He's just absolutely ridiculous. And, the poor guy loses the 1-0 game. I think his last start out. If you're a Met fan, you have to just cross your fingers. I know you hope to get Syndergaard back soon. Stroman's been pitching pretty good, but there's nobody in this league that's Jacob deGrom. Plain and simple. And if this, tightness, this right side tightness is, an issue, I don't know. I mean, Luis Rojas says, he's hoping he can get him in this weekend, but, God forbid you do that and he hurts himself even more, then, oh boy. So we'll see how that unfolds. We'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, the Yankees right now, like I said, 15-14, 2.5 games behind Boston. Again, still very early. The Mets 11-12. And I believe they have a doubleheader today. Yes, it's doubleheader starting at 5:15. Stroman goes in game 1, and then the old TBD in game 2. that means to be determined for those who are unaware. Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. Yankees tonight. Garcia for the Astros and Monty goes for the Yanks. So, let's keep it rolling, man. Let's see if there's any other interesting baseball news. Let's see. Yeah, so the DeGrom, he did have the MRI. It showed inflammation in his right lat. So he's going to refrain from throwing for the next few days. Yeah. And, speaking of the Mets too, they fired Chili Davis, their hitting coach, and I want to see if I can get to the article I saw with this. Let me just pull it up here. Okay. All right. The decision to fire Chili Davis. Here we go. Sandy Olson and acting general manager Zach Scott. They decided Chili Davis and assistant hitting coach Tom Slater had to go. They met no resistance from owner Steve Cohen. If you don't like the process, it will change for the better. Yeah, I mean, there's basically, from what I'm hearing and reading, this goes back to the analytics. And it's Chili Davis was more of, I don't want to say against the analytics, but he didn't buy into him as much as pretty much everybody has to now at this day and age. So Pete Alonso was very upset that Chili got fired. As I'm sure a bunch of the Met players were, but it's just, I don't know. The analytics drive me nuts sometimes. I get it; they work to an extent. The biggest thing that I hate about it, though, and you'll never change my mind on it, I don't care, is, they don't believe in quote unquote hot. People get on a hot streak, and it's happened a bunch of times. The Yankees too, they're guilty of this a lot. It's, okay, I'm on a, 5-game hitting streak. I'm seeing the ball real well. I'm feeling good. It's that the other thing. Oh, well, you're off today because today's your scheduled day off and we want to keep you fresh for the run. Come on, man. And the worst is when they give you a day off the day before an off day because they want to give you that extra time. It's like, dude, you got the off day in there for a reason, relax and, get a massage and, go to the spa, whatever you got to do on the off day. That's what you got the off day for. They just, again, and I know the numbers back it up to a certain percentage, but it's like, you have to believe in hot. You just have to, because, baseball is one of those sports where it's confidence, all confidence. And, Paul O'Neill said it a bunch of times on the broadcast, and you've heard hitters say it, throughout the years, that sometimes you're so hot and locked in, it looks like a freaking beach ball's coming at you. And you can just hit the ball wherever you want, do whatever you want with it. And, it's just frustrating to see sometimes that these hitters get sit down and, because of maintenance days and this, that, the other. It's just, I don't know. I want to give quick props to my New York Knicks. I mean, 37-28. Okay. Now, they're not going to finish top 3 because that's already basically locked. The Sixers, Nets, and Milwaukee. They're a game and a half up on Atlanta right now. And, now with the play-in, you have the 7, 8, 9, 10 in the play-in for the last, 2 spots or whatever it is. The season ended today. They'd be hosting a playoff series against the Hawks at the Garden. And you just cannot say enough. And I said it when they hired him. It's about damn time we finally got a real coach. And Tom Thibodeau is that real coach. And, you can see it in the development of the players. Besides Julius Randle, who's the quote unquote veteran, even though he's still young, he's been phenomenal, and he better win comeback player of the year. That's, let's say that right off the bat. But he's been tremendous, and he's taken the younger guys under his wing. RJ Barrett especially, and the two of them have just been absolutely phenomenal. And it's so nice to see and hear the Nick talk back, and because it's been years. And I know we had that little flash when Melo first got here. Those couple years, we didn't really do much of anything. Yeah, we won a playoff series, great, but this is a young team similar to the Rangers where we can build on it. We can move forward. And there's, there was talks. I saw an article of, trading for Damian Lillard. We have a bunch of first round picks and everything. Is that the other thing? That is somebody I would do, because he's a beast, Lillard. That's something, that's a trade I would make. Again, not too excessive on the draft picks and all that stuff, but you get a superstar like Lillard in here, and him, Randall, RJ, like, then you can kind of put the team in the conversation of, because right now they make the playoffs. Do I expect them to win that first round series? At this point, I think I might. If we're playing the, if we're playing the Hawks, if we're playing, I don't know, Miami would be tough, but we're playing the Hawks. I expect them to win that series, and great. So then they get to the second round where they start playing the big boys, and they're not on that level yet. They're just not, and they're not supposed to be either. But someone like Damian Lillard, he can, put us over that hump to where, hey, we got a shot now to compete with the big boys. And, that's the ultimate goal, to get in there, to get in the conversation of, getting to the finals. And we'll see what happens. I mean, Lillard loves Portland. They love him. But, if you got a chance to get a player like that, you definitely have to do it. All right. So, we'll see how the Yankees Astros go tonight. Just, again, fans, keep it, don't do anything stupid, throw crap onto the field, anything like that. Say everything, do, hold your signs, do all your creative stuff, because that's fantastic. I love it. And let's go Monty. Let's go Monty. Let's go Cole. Let's finish these guys off, sweep them, and, on to the next series, which is the Nationals, I believe. Yeah, follow the show, guys, on Twitter, Instagram, Take On NY Sports. Keep you up to date on everything. And, that's going to be a wrap on episode number 29. So until next time, guys, be well.